Yeah, hi friends, good morning. In the previous session, just we had a discussion about keywords and identifiers, which are valid keywords and which are valid identifiers. Based on the rules and regulations, we segregated all the identifiers. Now, as a part of core Python, we need to start one more topic, very important topic. So the name of the topic is nothing but data types in Python. So total how many data types are there? Okay, so how can we categorize the data types, like in general, how we are going to define the data types? So all these things we will discuss in today's session. So if you have any audio or video problem, please let me know through chat window. So now data type means, so what type of data we are using, what type of data. Okay, so we are using inside the program. So what type of data we are using inside the program will be decided by these data types. So in general, the example for data types is nothing but integer data types, floating point data types, character data types, boolean data types, etc. These are the types of data types in general. Okay, yeah, which platform we are using for programming? I'm not getting you, Rahul. See, revision, if possible, we will make it on Saturdays, Rahul. So because the course duration is very short, right? So we need to concentrate. Yeah, IDEs we will explain. Don't worry. Still, I didn't explain the installation of Python. Okay, I think Python installation has been completed, right? Yeah, already it is there. Okay, so you kindly cross check it. So it will be there in the YouTube channel. Okay. So if you are not getting, again you can ask me, I will explain. So this is about small introduction to the data types. But what Python is going to follow is, sir, Python, we have a specialty is there. So there are some programming languages which are called as statically typed programming language. Sir, what is meant by statically typed programming language? Sir, if you consider an example, suppose if I am taking integer x is equal to 10, so this is called as statically typed programming language. That means, sir, when you are assigning the value to the variable, sir, here I am assigning this value. Which value? Sir, I am assigning, okay, the value 10. I am assigning the value 10. Sir, to which variable? To the variable called x. So when you are assigning the value for x, at the beginning itself we are saying, sir, 10 is of type integer. So that means x can store only what type of data? Integer type of data. So such a type of clear intimation we are giving for the programming language. So do you know such a type of programming languages will come under statically typed programming languages. Sir, what is meant by statically typed programming language? At the beginning itself, we will provide the type of the data. So opposite for this is nothing but dynamically typed programming language. So opposite for this is nothing but a dynamically typed programming language. Sir, can you tell me one example? Very simple. X is equal to 99. Sir, it is called as dynamically typed programming language. Sir, what will happen? Sir, here, have you observed the value 99 we are assigning to the variable x? So what type of data it is? What type of data it is? We are not giving a prior intimation. We are not at all giving any prior intimation. So that means based on the data, dynamically, based on the data, automatically the type will be decided. So here 99 is what type of data? Integer type. So our programming language is going to consider so the type as integer. So like this, it will be happened inside the programming language itself. That's why these type of programming languages are called as dynamically typed programming language. Based on the input, dynamically it is going to decide what type of data it is going to store. So this is called as dynamically typed programming language. So do you know, luckily our Python supports, okay, so dynamically typed programming language. Python is called as dynamically typed. Python is called as a dynamically typed programming language. So this is the conclusion which I want to give as a beginning. So up to this, any doubts? I hope now you got clarity on dynamically typed programming language. What is the advantage? All these things we will discuss. Any doubts? Please confirm. Yeah, I request everyone in the session, please respond. Rahul, Rohini, Varsha, please, I request everyone to participate actively because it is an online session, probably from 6. So you'll be in fresh mind. So everyone has to respond. Okay. Yeah. Rahul, are you getting? Yeah, fine. So now, next thing what I'm going to explain is Python contains the following. Python contains the following inbuilt data types. So there are inbuilt data types are there in Python. How many data types are there? So do you know? Just to remember these words. These words are very important. So the first data type which I have is integer. Second data type is float. Third data type is complex. Fourth data type is bool stands for boolean. So fifth data type is string. Sixth data type is bytes. Seventh data type is, okay, byte array. So don't get confused. Eighth data type is list. Ninth data type is tuple. 10th data type is set. 11th data type is frozen set. 12th data type is something like dictionaries. The 13th data type is nothing but range. 14th data type is none. So these are the total 14 data types supported by Python. 14 data types supported by Python. So now in today's session, almost we are going to finish about the basic data types. First 5 data types we will concentrate in today's session. Sir, before moving to this, just we need to have some important note. So the following are the three main important functions that we need to concentrate. So the following are the three main important functions that we have. What is the first function? Is nothing but do you know, already we have seen this print of, within bracket I am taking obj. So what it is going to do? So it will print, okay, so it will print content of object obj. So it is going to print the content of object obj. So which information is there inside obj, that information it is going to print. What is the second one? So do you know type of obj? I hope the name itself explains that. So it will print content type of object obj. So inside that object, what type of content is available? So whether it is integer or whether it is a floating point, that will be decided. Then, so one more thing, one more function, idea of obj. So what is meant by this idea of obj? So it will print the address. Or you can use the word called unique id of an object. So it is going to print unique id of an object to object. A separate address will be there. So something like pointers in C language. So that unique address we can fetch by using which method? ID method. So to get the address of an object, we can go for this. So regarding this, let me explain two important functions. Okay, so now first example, sir, I'm taking A is equal to 123. A is equal to 123. Sir, print of A will print its content. So the output which we are going to get is nothing but 123. Let me cross check. Sir, where we can execute our program? In the command prompt. Have you observed? Just I am opening the command prompt. So where I stored all my files in the C drive. In the C drive, PY folder is there. So in C drive, sir, I want to remove all these things. Sir, which command we will use? CD backspace. Then I am entering into py. Sir, here we have to execute. Sir, can anyone tell which command we will use to execute the program? Can anyone remember which command we will use to execute the program? Please type it in chat window. Very good, Varsha. Good. Yes, Rohini, very good, very good. Rahul, it may be new for you, but don't waste the time. Today, try to resume those three classes. Okay. If you want, I will share the links also by end of the session. Please remember. Okay. Yeah. So py space test.py. Once if you press enter, then immediately we are going to get answer as 123. So that is nothing but the content which is there. Sir, now my requirement is, sir, print of type of A. Sir, what type of data internally it contains? What type of data internally it contains? Have you observed? Let me execute. So see the answer. Sir, it is of type class int. Sir, which type of information is there? Class int, integer information is available. So I hope now you can understand that the type will be decided automatically by Python itself, because the value which was assigned is integer. That's why it is considering the type as integer. If you assign 123.45, it will consider floating point. That we will discuss soon. The next time executing print of, yeah, so it is something like object oriented. Everything in Python is object oriented. As of now, please concentrate on this. No need for these classes, all these things. So when you are moving for object oriented principles, there you can understand. Okay, Rahul? Yeah. So print of ID of A. Sir, can you tell what will be the answer? Really, I don't know. Sir, a random value we are going to get, and moreover, so the value is going to change. The value is going to change from run to run. Sir, if you run first time, we will get one value. If you are running second time, we will get another value. So runtime to runtime, the value is going to change. Sir, let me cross check. Have you observed py space test.py? At the beginning, I got a big number. So try to remember the last three digits, 456. If I execute second time, have you observed 656? Sir, if I execute third time, sir, 000. So like this, every time, runtime to runtime, it is going to change. That means nothing is there. Every time it is going to allocate the memory, and it will store the value. Once if the program execution completed, it will delete the value. Again, allocation means a separate memory location will be there. That is the concept of this ID function, and this is the first example. So second example, there is one beauty is there with respect to the Python. Just now I told. How can we remove previous output? Just you can use CLS, then it will be cleared from the command prompt. You can use the CLS to clear the command prompt. Okay. Yeah. So now second example, I already told that Python is a dynamically typed programming language. So can you show me a proof for that? So that example I am taking now. Listen carefully. So here I want to store x is equal to 10. if you are taking x comma type of x, both we can print simultaneously. So the answer which you are going to get is nothing but a 10, sir, which is of type class integer. Which is of type class integer. Okay, so now a separate memory location got created. Let me explain with an example so that you can understand clearly. Sir, we got a new memory location. A new memory location is created. What is the name of the memory location is nothing but x. X is nothing but the name of memory location. Sir, this is pointing to this memory location. Sir, what is the internal content inside this is nothing but 10. Okay, so 10 means we know what type of data it is holding. Sir, it is holding integer type of data. So integer type of data is there. Automatically it is decided. Sir, next. Sir, after completion of this, suddenly my requirement got changed. Now I want to store 10.52. Boss, can you tell what type of data you are holding now? Sir, the answer which you are going to get is 10.52. It is of type. It is of type. Can anyone tell what will be the type? Please confirm. What will be the type? Yes, exactly. So the type is nothing but a float. Float. You will get a float. So if you want, let me cross check diagramly. So here the value 10 is erased from the memory location. From now onwards, it is going to store 10.52. 10.52. So what type of information it is holding? What type of information it is holding? So it is holding floating point data types. Have you observed? Based on the dynamic data, based on the data which you are giving, the type is decided automatically. If you want, you can cross check py space test.py. The answer which you are going to get is 10.52, which is of type floating point. Any doubts, guys, up to this? So again, I want to store x is equal to, I am going to store my name, that is Prakash, within double quotations. So I am trying to store. So now x comma type of x. Can you tell what type of information is there inside this? Sir, we have Prakash. Can you tell what will be the type? Class, please confirm what will be the type. Yes. Okay. Yeah, very good. Rohini. So it's not the character. It is of type string. So string is represented as str, not string, because I have given in the beginning itself. Yeah, it is of type str. So that's why the answer which you are going to get is nothing but str. Let me save and execute the program. Py space test.py. Have you observed the answer which you are going to get is nothing but it is of type class str. Please confirm up to this. Do you have any doubts? Example 2. Proof for dynamically typed programming language. Clear? Any doubts? Yes, clear. So now example number 3. What is the third example is, so listen carefully. Now what I am going to do is, there is one beautiful concept is there in the Python. I will explain slowly, listen carefully. So x is equal to I am taking 100. X is equal to I am taking 100. So y is equal to I am taking 200. I want to print x comma address of x. Similarly, sir, I want to print y comma id of y. Id of y. Sir, now my intention is two memory locations will be created. Two memory locations will be created. Sir, what is the first memory location? So do you know the first memory location is nothing but x. Is nothing but x. So inside this, sir, which information it is holding? X is already associated with some value 100. Okay, fine, no problem. Sir, next, one more memory location is there. One more memory location is there. What is the name of this memory location? Y. It is pointing to this memory location. Okay, no issues. So what is the internal content? It is having 200. Okay. Sir, next, I want to create one more memory location. I want to create one more memory location. What is the name of that variable is nothing but z. Z is equal to 100. So print of z comma id of z. So now my question is this id of x, maybe assume it will print 100 comma some random, okay, random value 1 we will get. So okay, if I execute for the second one, we will get, okay, so we will get 200 as your output and random value. So now if I am executing third line 100 comma, sir, can you tell, is it going to print the random value 1 or is it going to print random value 3, that is new value? Can anyone tell which answer you are expecting, random value 1 or random value 3? Please think a bit carefully and tell. Yeah, yeah. Someone is feeling, sir, we are going to get first value, and someone are feeling, sir, we are going to get a new value. Okay, yeah. In other programming languages, we will get new value only. We will get a new value only. But luckily in Python, sir, we will get first value itself. That means, sir, what our Python is going to decide is, before creating the variable z, what is its content? Sir, its content is a 10. Is there any memory location inside Python which is having the content as 100? Yes, there is one memory location called X. So now in simple it is going to reuse that memory location and Z is pointing to 100. Z is pointing to 100. So this was the benefit. This was the benefit. Luckily we have this opportunity in Python. Okay. So instead of creating a fresh memory location, it will reuse the existing memory location if the content is the same. So if the content is the same, why you are going for new memory location? Reuse the existing memory location so that memory you can save, performance by default will be increased. So this was the concept which is there in Python. Okay. Sir, with this, we have disadvantage also. What is the disadvantage is, sir, if Z assume, sir, Z content, he is not that much interested about 100. But the particular person want to change the value of 100. So he want to change the value of 100. So immediately he erased the content 10 and he has put in his own favorite number, that is 420. Okay, sir, who modified this 420? The person Z modified. This modification is reflected to X also. Why? Because X is also pointing to the same memory location. The biggest problem is, once if you perform modification, those modifications will be reflected to all the persons, those who are pointing to that memory location. This is the biggest disadvantage which we are having. Sir, now for this, what Python is decided is, so Python has given two important terminologies. First one is nothing but, sir, mutable object. Mutable object. What is meant by mutable object? Modifications are allowed. Happily, we can do modifications. What is the second one is nothing but, do you know, immutable object. What is meant by immutable object? So modifications are not allowed. Like this, you can segregate your objects whether you want to do the modifications or not. In this case, if you are not giving, if you are giving it as an immutable object, then in such cases, modifications won't be there. Then happily you can execute your task. So like this, we divided this into two important concepts, that is mutable objects will be there, at the same time immutable objects will be there. What is meant by immutable object? Modifications are allowed. What is meant by immutable objects? Modifications are not allowed. Like this, we can segregate the values and we can perform. Okay, yeah. So I hope with this you got a clear clarity, and let me execute and I will show you proof saying that, sir, have you observed first memory location and the last memory location got same values. So this is about what you can consider as a third example. So I hope I explained clearly about the print type and then ID function. Print function will print the information. ID function will guess the what, I mean, will identify the what type of data we are storing, and luckily we have dynamically typed programming language as a Python. Then third, ID. So if you are having multiple values with the same content, so what Python is going to be implemented. So all these three examples I covered. Any doubts on this? Please confirm. Clear? Yeah. Now, sir, the third topic which I am going, let me start postmortem. Postmortem on these data types. That is, today we will cover int, float, complex, boolean, string. All the 5 data types we will cover. So let me start with integer data type. The first data type which we have is int data type. Int data type. Sir, what is meant by this int data type? So we can use this data type. Yeah, Varsha is asking doubt. Is there any impact on the performance as there are searching for an object value? No, nothing will be there. Nothing will be there. So searching for the objects in Python is very easy. Searching for object in a Python is very easy. Okay. See, whenever they are introducing a new programming language with high performance, sorting and searching is the main agenda. Okay, so if you take C language or Java, searching will take an important role. So that's why what Python people decided inbuiltly. So they are using some tools so that searching and sorting, all these things will become very easy. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, yeah. So next, a good question actually, Varsha. So next one, integer type of data. So we can use this integer type of data to represent numbers, So what kind of numbers it is going to store? So infinite, minus infinite to plus infinite. Do you know there is no range concept? There is no range concept in Python. Sir, maximum people are asking, sir, why range concept is not there? What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? Why such type of terminology is not there? Sir, simple answer you can tell. Everything in Python is an object. Everything in Python is an object. Sir, we can handle like an object. So that means for storing object, we are not going to store the content in heap or RAM. So directly it will be stored in the memory location. So that is the reason we can put huge amount of data into that particular memory location. So once if the range concept is there, we are going to store the data in stack area or heap area or RAM area. Okay, yeah. So so let me have one practical example. Just already we have given this example. Anyway, let me learn as a new topic. So 567 I am taking. So print of x. So we will get 567. Okay. Then so print of type of x. What type of data it is holding? So have you observed the type is nothing but integer. The type is nothing but integer. That's all. Basic example. Next, sir, we can represent integer values. We can represent integer values in the following ways. We can represent the integer values in the following ways. What is the first way is nothing but, so we can use a decimal form. Second, we can use a binary form. So we can represent the data even in binary form also. So we can represent the data in octal form. Okay. Then we can represent the data in hexadecimal form. So you can take any one of these data to represent it. So how can we represent decimal values? So do you know the base of this number system? The base of this number system is nothing but, I think you know about this 10. So what are the values that it can accommodate? 0 to 9. 0 to 9. So how we can represent that? Strictly speaking, there is no representation. Directly, the values which you are assigning will be of type decimal object. So assume W is equal to 10 I'm taking. So if you print a W, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 10 only. It is of type decimal. Okay. So in binary form, how can we take the data? So do you know the base of the binary number system is only 2 bytes is going to occupy, 2 bits. So then what are all the values that we can store? Sir, we have to take only 0, 1. No other values are permitted. Sir, how to represent this? How to represent this? Sir, it must be prefixed with, it must be prefixed with 0 small b or 0 capital B. If any number is prefixed with 0 small b or 0 capital B, it has to be considered as binary. So let me have a look once. Sir, I am taking x is equal to, sir, 0b 1010. Sir, no problem. If you print, we will get one value. Later, I will explain what is the value that you are going to get. Sir, here 1010 is what type of data? Binary data. So we have to convert it into decimal. So last to first we have to take. Sir, 0 into, okay. So what is the base of binary? 2 power 0 plus 1 into 2 power 1 plus what is the next digit? 0 into 2 power 2 plus what is the last digit? 1 into 2 power 3. Like this you can take. Sir, 0 into 2 power 0 will become 0. 1 into 2 power 1 into 2 power 1 will become 2. Sir, 0 into 2 power 2 will become 0. 1 into 2 cube will become 8. So what is the answer that you are going to get? 10 will be the answer. Okay. So this is the thing which is happening. So now I want to cover a small note. We can supply data in any form. You can supply the data in any form. But Python considers only in which format? Decimal form. So Python is going to consider only in which form? Decimal form. Yeah. Any doubts up to this? If it is clear, we will go with the next form. Please confirm. Up to this, do you have any doubts? Yeah, everyone in the session, please respond. No, no. Yeah, Rahul. I will repeat this process for octal so that you can understand clearly. Sir, what is the base of octal is nothing but, do you know? 8. Sir, what are all the values that you are going to get? Rahul, listen carefully. Sir, what are all the values that you can get? Sir, 0 to 7. Okay. Sir, how you can represent? Do you know? It must be prefixed with. It must be prefixed with. So it must be prefixed with. Sir, we have to take beginning with 0. O. Sir, if any number is prefixed with 0 small o or capital O, then we have to consider it as octal. Sir, I want to take one octal number. Y is equal to, sir, 0 1 0 0 O 1 0. I think O is there or not? Yeah, O is there. So 0 small o I am taking. Sir, now the data which we are giving is in the form of octal. Now we have to convert it into decimal. Why? Because if you print, Python will consider only in the decimal. That's why, sir, manually we need to convert this into decimal. 0 into, what is the base? The base is 8. 8 to the power of 0 plus, sir, 1 into 8 to the power of 1. Sir, if you expand, 0 into 8 power 0 will become 0. Sir, 1 into 8 power 0 will become 1. The answer which you are going to get is 8. The same case we analyzed for this binary. So first 0 into 2 to the power 0, then 1 into 2 to the power 1, then 0 into 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 2, 1 into 2 to the power 3. So if we expand, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 10. Okay, like this we are using. Sir, if you print y value, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 8. So don't worry, I will show the output later. Up to this, do you have any doubts? Please confirm. Yeah, Rahul. Yeah, fine. Sir, coming to the hexadecimal. What is the base of hexadecimal is nothing but 16. Sir, which values it is going to accommodate? 0 to 9, and we can take some A to F. Sir, how can we represent? Sir, it is also prefixed with, it must be prefixed with 0 small x or 0 capital X. That's all. Let me go to the program. So here I am taking Z is equal to, okay, sorry, 0x10 I'm taking. So 0x10 means 0 into 16 power 0 plus 1 into 16 power 1. So the answer which you are going to get is nothing but, 16 will be the answer. So if I am printing the value of Z, the answer which you are going to get is 16. Sir, in the output now we have to get 10, 10, 8, 16. If you are getting these four numbers, our program is perfect. Our program is perfect. See here, py space test.py. Sir, 10, 10, 8, 16. Like this we will get. Any doubts, guys, up to this? Please confirm. Yeah. So this is nothing but about which data type? Integer data type. So the next data type which we have is floating point data type. Float data type. We can represent it as float data type. Sir, what is meant by float data type? Sir, very simple. If you want to store, okay, if you want to store point values, if you want to store point values like, sir, I want to store my data as 1.2345, like this I want to store, then you can go for this floating point. Let me have one example. Sir, I am taking f is equal to 12.345. Sir, if you print f, similarly, if you print the type of f, the answer which you are going to get here is nothing but 12.345, and here the answer will be always class float. If you want, you can cross check. Like this we will get. Sir, this is about floating point data type. Sir, even in this floating point data type, sir, we have two types of representations are there. Two types of representations are there. Sir, I will explain these two types here. Listen here. Example number one. Example number one. Or I will take a consolidated example. So here I want to store a is equal to 1.234. Sir, if you print a, okay, if you print a, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 1.234. Okay, 1.234. Sir, I want to print b is equal to 1.234, 1.234 or 1.2, 1.2 e to the power 3, e to the power 3. Sir, here, what is the meaning? What is the meaning of small e or capital E means? Sir, we have to substitute 10. We have to substitute 10 in the place of e. So that means 1.2 into e to the power 3. 1.2 into e to the power 3. So if you take 1.2 into e means 10, so 10 cube. Okay. So 1.2 into 10 cube means we will get 1000 as its value. So once if you multiply, sir, 1.2 into 1000, so what will happen? Can you guess what is the result? Alright, please confirm. 1.2 into 1000. Yes, 1200 will be the answer. So like this it is going to take. Sir, if you are taking e to the power minus, so what will happen? Sir, minus means we have to take 1.2 divided by 1000. Sir, divided by 1000 you have to take. Such type of terminology you have to use. Sir, listen here. Now I am taking c is equal to, sir, 1.2 e to the power minus 3. E to the power minus 3. So now see, print of b, it will print, so 1200.0. Sir, if you are printing c, sir, 0.00, maybe 02, 012 we will get. Let me cross check. Yeah. Clear? So this is about how can we represent floating point data. Any doubts up to this? Any doubts? Yeah. So just give me 2 minutes. I will be back. Okay. Yeah. Please be on the line. Just 2 minutes. I will be back. Yeah. So any doubts up to this? Shall we continue? Yeah. So the next data type which we have is complex data type. Do you know? I hope in your mathematics somewhere you have seen this complex data type. So this complex data type is used to represent real and imaginary values. Sir, I want to use these real and imaginary values. Then you can go for this complex data type. I hope in the good Rahul. X plus iy. Sir, in general, in scientific notations, we will use this real and imaginary values. Sir, in general, how we are going to represent imaginary numbers? A plus ib is the general notation. Okay, sir, it is in math. It is in math. We will represent like this. But do you know Python is a bit different. So in Python, we have to represent like this: a plus, okay, bj. Here, the term used I for representing imaginary number, but here you have to use the term called j to represent imaginary number. So let me have an example. A is equal to, so 10 plus 20j I am taking. Now, if you print a and if you print the type of a, sir, the answer which I am going to get is nothing but, do you know, 10 plus 20j within brackets, and it is of type complex. So 10 plus 20j, which is of type complex. Okay. So what will happen if I took I? What will happen if I took I? Have you observed? We will get invalid syntax. We will get invalid syntax. So the representation they have provided like this. The representation which they have used is like this. So this is nothing but a basic introduction to the complex data type. Okay, sir, sir, if you take real part, in the real part, you can take int values. You can take int values. In the real part, you can take int values. Sir, these int values should be in decimal, or you can take it in octal, or you can take it in hexadecimal, or you can take it in binary. No problem at all. But do you know? So in the imaginary part, okay. So we have to use integer, which should be of type decimal only. Which should be of decimal only. Sir, in the imaginary part, we should not use octal or hexadecimal or binary number. This is the one important, okay. So concept which you have to understand. Okay. Then, sir, one more thing. One more thing. What is that? Is nothing but, sir, here all type of basic operations we can perform. All types of basic arithmetic operations we can perform. Sir, what is mean by this? Do you know, in the case of let me cover with example. I hope somewhere in our btech or in the first semester we have a lab experiment is there to perform operations on all complex numbers. So luckily in Python directly we can do with the operators. Sir, assume I have two complex numbers. Sir, I need addition of these two. Sir, a plus b. Sir, the answer which you are going to get is real parts will be added, imaginary parts will be added with the suffix of j. Similarly, sir, if you took a minus b, what will happen? Sir, 1 minus 3 minus 2 minus 2j, like this we will get. Sir, if you are taking a star b multiplication, sir, some big story is there for multiplication. So first we have to take uh, yeah, real parts and then imaginary part. Okay, so let me do that operation for your sake. Yeah, sir, 1 plus 2j, right? 1 plus 2j. Okay, sir, into we have to multiply into 3 plus 4j. 3 plus 4j. So what we have to do? So first we have to get real part. How we are going to get real part? Multiply 1 into 3. So the result will become 3. Multiply 2j into 4j. So 2 into 4, 8 we will get. So what is a j square value? Minus 1. So 3 minus 8 is nothing but real part. How you are going to get imaginary part? 1 into 4. So 4 plus 2 into 3, 6. 6. We have to suffix with j. This is the result. That means minus 5 plus 10j is nothing but result of this multiplication. Okay. Sir, -5 plus 10k. Let me cross check whether we are getting same answers or not. Sir, py space text.py. Have you observed the answer is nothing but like this. So even if you want, you can do division also, some rationalization, all these things we required, just you practice it. So the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 0.44, 0.44 plus 0.08j. Like this we will get. So this is nothing but basic operations that we can perform on complex number. Any doubts up to this? Yeah. So the next data type which we have is, yeah, the next data type which we have is bool data type. Fourth one, bool data type. So bool data type in the sense very simple. So we can use this data type. We can use this data type to represent. We can use this data type to represent Boolean values. Boolean values. Boolean values. Sir, Boolean values in the sense which values? Sir, do you know true and false? But in Python, you have to type F as a capital letter and T as a capital letter. This is the rule. This is the rule. Okay. So now internally, Python uses or Python represents so true as a 1, okay, and false as a 0. So internally Python is going to represent true as a 1 and false as a 0. Okay, so if you want, you can cross check. For this, I will take two examples. Example number 1. So do you know I'm taking A is equal to true, so B is equal to false. I want to know A and then type of A. So the answer which you are going to get is nothing but true, which is of type of bool. Similarly, so if you print B and then if you print A of type of B, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but a false, which is of type of bool. Once if you run, have you observed true bool, false bool, like this we will get. Then, so what is the next example which we have? Suppose if I'm printing like this, print of A plus B. So the answer which you are going to get is nothing but 1. So that means in this case, internally true is considered. Internally true is considered as a 1 and internally false is considered as a 0. Like this it will happen. This is nothing but about the Boolean data type. Any doubts up to this? Please confirm. Everyone in the class should respond. Yeah, Rahul. Any doubts? Yeah, fine. Sir, the next last data type in today's session is str data type. That means string data type. String data type I am concentrating. Sir, what is mean by string data type? Sir, very simple. We know in some data types, in some programming languages, collection of characters is called as a string. But even in Python, same definition. But in Python, so str is an object, string is an object, string is an object. So here we can create strings in Python in different ways. So the following are the different ways of creating strings in Python. Multiple approaches are there. So why these many approaches are there? We will post-mortem later. Sir, assume I want to print the welcome to Python programming. So the first way is nothing but welcome to Python. Like this, we can print within double quotations. What is the other way is nothing but within single quotation also you can print. Within single quotation also you can print. So even if you want, you can take single triple quotations. Observe my terminology. So single triple quotations also we can take. Similarly, the last one which we have is triple double quotations also we can take. triple, double quotations. These are the 4 different ways to represent a string. If you print, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but syntax error. Where, so here I started with double quotation. Yeah. Have you updated? Welcome to Python. Welcome to Python. So if you want put it into some variable s1 and put it into another variable s2. Sir, put it into another variable s3. S4 is equal to. Now, sir, print s1 comma. Let me check whether really it is a string or not. Like this, s1, s2, s3, s4. I'm checking. So s1, s2, s3, s4. Now, if you execute, the answer is nothing but, sir, have you updated everything? Everything is of type string only. Clear up to this? Okay. Yeah. Next, sir, very important topic I'm giving. What is that giving is what is the topic is nothing but, sir, index concept in strings. Index concept in strings. So listen a bit, concentrate. This is very important. First point which I am going to explain is nothing but okay, sir, Python follows zero based index. That means the index starts from zero. This index can be both positive and negative. Sir, you can take positive index as well as you can take negative index, no problem at all. Sir, if it is a positive index, then we have to move from left to right. Don't worry, I will explain with example. Sir, if you have negative index, then we have to move from right to left. If you are having negative index, then we have to move from right to left. So if you are moving out of range, then what will happen? Sir, very simple. We will get one beautiful error. What is that error? Is nothing but index error. If you are moving out of your index, then we will get index error. So let me post-mortem something related to this. Sir, I want to take a word called Python. Okay. Sir, I want to take a word called Python. Sir, this Python is how it is going to be inserted. Sir, in zeroth location, which character is there? Capital P. Okay, I will write here itself. Zeroth location, first location, second location, third location, fourth location, fifth location. Sir, if you want reverse, then how these things are stored? Sir, 6 5 4 3 2 1. Why? Because a negative index means we have to start from right. Okay, positive index means we have to start from left. Sir, when you are starting from positive index, what is a range value? Sir, it will start from 0 to length of the string minus 1. Length of the string minus 1. Sir, here what is the length? How many characters are there? 6 characters. 6 minus 1 means you will get 5 only. Sir, if it is negative index, what is the beginning value? Sir, it will start from -1 to okay, minus of length of s. That's all, not minus 1. So here length is 6 minus 6. That means -1 to -6 we will get. So don't worry, practically I will show. Up to this, do you have any doubts? Please confirm, everyone. Varsha, Rahul. Last one. Yeah. Sir, if it is negative index, where we have to start? Starting from 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So starting from -1 to minus of length of s. Do you know +0 -0? Such type of terminology is not there. If it is negative, we have to start from -1 only. That is the biggest problem, right? That's why negative index means it will start from -1 and up to minus of length of s. Okay, Don't worry, once if you go to the program, it will be very easy. Rahul. Let me have one example. Sir, I am taking S is equal to, yeah, everyone has to give the answers for this. Sir, print off S of 0 and 8. Can anyone tell what will be the output? Let me put indexes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Yeah, can you tell what will be the answer? Very good. Even Rahul, you have to respond. P is the answer. Okay. Sir, I am printing S of 1. What will be the answer? Rahul, it is not O, 0. Clear? In that location, which thing is there? Yeah, very good. Sir, print of S of 2. Which answer we will get? Yes, good. T. Sir, if you print S of 3, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but H. Sir, if you print S of 4, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but O. O. Sir, if you print S of 5, the answer which you are going to get is nothing but N. Let me cross check whether we are getting these values or not. Clear? We are getting all the values. Any doubts? No. Sir, next terminology. Next example. So what is the next example is, sir, same example, let me put some other string like Java. Sir, I want to access by using negative index. What is the length of the string 4? So 4, 3, 2, 1. Now observe clearly. Sir, I am taking print of S of minus 0. Can you tell what will be the answer? Can anyone tell? Varsha is feeling, sir, it is error. Have you observed? We got some J means, sir, minus 0 plus 0, both the things will become only 0. Okay, only 0. There is no minus 0. Clear? So it is treating it as a positive 0 only. That is a problem. So if I am taking minus 1, then the answer will be, please confirm. Very good. A. Sir, if you print S of minus 2, what will be the answer? Yeah, very good. V. Sir, if you print S of minus 3, then the answer is nothing but S. What is the answer? A. Sir, if you are printing S of minus 4, what will be the answer? J. That's all. That's all. If you want, you can cross check. Clear? So this is the way how can we play game with negative index. So now one important program. Assume S is equal to, I am taking my name Prakash. Sir, I want to store locations 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 characters you can get it. Sir, if you print S of 0, which output we are going to get? Please guide me. P. Very good. Sir, if I am printing S of 6, which output we are going to get? H. Sir, if I am printing S of minus 2, which answer we are going to get? Array, please confirm. Very good, very good. The answer is yes. Sir, let me execute up to this. PHS is nothing but the answer. Sir, concentrate a bit more. Sir, I am taking S of 100. Is there any 100th location character? No, no. Then what we are going to get? Which error we are going to get? Please confirm. Yes, very good. Sir, we are going to get which error? Index error. Sir, let me copy paste the message which you are going to get. Have you updated? First three are same, but last one, index error, string index out of range. Sir, you are accessing a string with out of range. Sir, I want to take S of minus 40. Sir, same answer we will get. If you want, you can cross check. But do you know this line number 7 output is this? Why? Because it is an interpreter. After rectifying this 7th line, then only it will move to the third line, sorry, eighth line. Have you observed in the eighth line we are getting minus 40 as error. So this is nothing but about the index and how we are going to get errors. Any doubts, guys, up to this? Yeah. So summary, all the fundamental data types we covered. Note number 1. So all the data types which we covered. So all the following data types are called as fundamental data types. Then note number 2. So all the fundamental data types are immutable. Immutable in the sense modifications are not allowed. You can't modify its content. If you are trying to perform modification, with those modifications, a new object will be created. With those modifications, a new object will be created. Okay, modifications are not allowed. Let me have some proof. I think it will work. Sir, A, and then I am trying to print A and then ID of A. So later I am trying to change its value. Now let me print A and then ID of A. See what will happen. Just have you observed? Initially it is 10. So 29, 94, 68, 61, 75, 82, 4. But same variable name only. But I changed the content. So these changes are not happening at this location. A new location got created. That means it is immutable. So we are going to get a 10 and random value 1. And here we are going to get 88 random value 2. That means the content is we are changing, but reference variable is same. Even though the reference variable is same, because it supports immutability concept. Clear up to this? Any doubts? Solution, there is no solution. So you have to move for mutability features. We have this couple, some data types are there which will provide mutable. Rahul, see here. So in the first case, we got one memory location. What is the name of the memory location? A. So which is containing some content. What is the content inside this? 10. Okay, 10 is there. So some address is there. Some address is there. Some XXX address is there. So do you know? In the next statement, I am trying to modifying its value. I am trying to modifying which value. That means I am trying to perform some kind of modification. Sir, it won't entertain the modifications. The modifications which we are doing, with that you will get a new object. With that you will get a new object. Now 88 is nothing but its content. From now onwards, A is not pointing to 10, it is pointing to 88. So what I am trying to say is it's a new memory location. That's point I am trying to highlighting. So this is a new memory location. So why modifications are not entertaining? Because it is immutability. Because it is immutable feature. So if it is a mutable feature, then the modifications will be there in the same memory location. Okay. So as I said at the beginning, right? Clear up to this? So maybe you have some small doubts. Don't worry, you'll clarify these doubts in the further sessions. Don't worry, everything will become easy. Slowly, I will inject into your minds. Yeah, that's all about today's session, guys. So we will meet for the continuation tomorrow. So again, I'm repeating, course duration is 50 days, 45 to 50 days. Every day, 6 to 7. Maybe if you start at 6:15, it will extend up to 7:15 because of your our convenient. We will, don't worry. Okay, So from tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we are going to get a new link. Monday to Friday, Saturday won't be there. Saturday won't be there. So if required, we will plan for Saturday and Sunday also on 2 hours, 6 to 8, if possible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's all about today's session. We will discuss the remaining things in the next session. We will meet for the continuation. Yeah. Thank you guys. You can leave the session. Thank you.